guys, this is Spanner from Frenetic Array, and I thought I'd just share with you guys my favorite build from my first day on HotS. So it's a ZvT build and it utilizes Burrow on hatch tech. Stefano did something similar in IEM and I tried to, copy that. I haven't copied it identically, like I never checked the VOD or anything, so this is kind of just my own version. And it's kind of like the old school Roach pressure builds, but instead of just going with heavy Roach, you go with less Roaches and you get Burrow. And that Burrow forces scans, you can micro it so the Roaches that you do make become a lot more efficient than just having a massive bunch of Roaches. Like you can force a lift and then put your Roach under the command center. That's what Stefano did. And you can also force turret scans. Like they've got to deal with the Burrow somehow. So I think it's a lot more efficient as long as your micro is good to get the Burrow. And you can just multitask Burrow, you can keep all your Roaches alive when you need to. You can split Roaches up so that, if they use one scan over there, then the rest of your Roaches that burrow over there, that he hasn't got another scan, or he's got to save up another scan. So I think it makes some really interesting micro battles in the early game, and I really like that Burrow is on hatch tech now. It's going to make some really interesting builds. Anyway guys, let's get straight into the build.
So first off, the main requirement for this build is that it needs to be against a fast expand build. You don't want to be doing this against a one base play. So you want to be looking for CC first, 1 Rex expand, or Rax gas with a fairly fast expand. In this game, the guy goes Rax gas with a fairly fast expand. The expand starts about just before 4 minutes. So I guess that's the latest you want to be looking for an expand, because any later and it's probably going to be a 1 base build. So look for a fast expand build before you go ahead and do this build.
Then after that, and as always, we want to get a 9 Overlord. Go ahead and throw down a 15 spawning pool. I do prefer the spawning pool first, as it does allow you to deny the scout easier, and with the prominence of Reaper openings in Heart of the Swarm, I think it's a lot safer opening, but that may change as I do get better at holding Reaper openings with hatch first. Get yourself a standard 16 hatchery after throwing down the 15 pool. Straight after that, and as soon as we got the minerals for it, we want to go ahead and get an Overlord on 15 supply. Straight after that, and as soon as the spawning pool finishes, we want to get a queen, and straight after the queen we want to get an extractor. Get yourself a pair of Zerglings straight after the extractor to allow you to deny any scouting from the opponent. Drone straight up to 21 supply and start a second queen. Inject with the first queen and send it down to natural. Make sure to drone to 16 on the main and then rally everything down to natural to have optimal drone saturation. Make sure you don't build an Overlord on 24 supply like you normally would, because we want to drone straight up to 27 supply and then drop a Roach Warren and also start the Burrow tech. Then after that we want to go ahead and drone up to 28 supply and start a double Overlord. Make sure you produce them in the main base, because you want to save all of the lava on the natural, since we're going to produce the Roaches from the natural, which will give us a shorter rush distance to their base. Then we're going to go ahead and produce 5 Roaches from the natural. Make sure they're all from the natural for that shorter rush distance, and 5 is the maximum amount of Roaches you will be able to get with your current gas, and that's pretty much the whole build. The next part is microing the Roaches. If there's a bunker at the front of the base, what you want to do is just run straight past it and start knocking down on the main. Because you've got a small amount of Roaches, trying to take a bunker down if their SCV is repairing it, it's not going to end too well. In this case, however, he did decide to opt for Widow Mines, so if there are Widow Mines out in the field, what you want to do is grab 1 Roach, send him up to the front to bait that missile, and then once the missile's gone off, you can just send all of the rest of the Roaches up the ramp, because you've got a 30-second window to get into that main base. The main micro trick with this Roach push, however, is burrowing your weakened Roaches. Burrowing your weakened Roaches will allow them to regenerate, and it will also force scans if they want to kill a Roach. This is essential for getting the most out of your Roach pressure. Another strong trick to use if the possibility comes up for it is to split your Roaches far enough that 1 scan can't cover both of the Roaches. So in this game, I've got a Roach at one base and I've got 2 Roaches at the other. He hasn't got enough scans to scan both sets of Roaches, so he's kind of stuck in a pretty awkward situation. It's completely up to you how you transition from this. Personally, I like to go for a 2 base speed Roach follow-up, which is what Dongre used to do back in Wings, but I can't remember what Stefano did in IM. I do believe he went for a fast third, and then he just went Mutiling Bane like normal. So there were a lot of transitions you can do from this. I really do like the 2 base speed Roach follow-up, because it can do a lot of damage, and then behind that I take a third, and then go into Mutiling Bane with double ups. But yeah, the transition is kind of up to you. I would say go for 2 base speed Roach, or because mutants are so good in Heart of the Swarm, take that third base, saturate it, and just go Ling Bane into mid-late game. Players. People who have never or barely played before, who are looking to enjoy the competitive 1v1 aspect of the game, or looking to find out if they do enjoy that 1v1 aspect of the game. With this video series I aim to ease new Zerg players into the game, leaving them with a strong fundamental base that